The Orlando Magic. In a trade deadline where not even a single team was ready to be sellers with the hopes of making it into the play-in tournament, the Magic traded away the three best players for draft capital and young players and made it clear that they're tanking this season. And I don't blame them one bit. They've arguably been one of the most mediocre teams in the East in the past 3 years. They've ended up 7th in 2018 and got bounced in the first round, 8th in 2019 and got bounced in the first round, 8th in 2020 and got bounced in the first round. Them making the playoffs has only led them to a middle of the pack picks with which they've actually gotten decent players like Chuma Okiki and Cole Anthony. And in drafts prior, they drafted Mo Bamba and Jonathan Isaac. They also got Markel Fultz from Philly. But one thing the Orlando Magic I believe don't have yet is a franchise player. And now I'd like to remind you guys to leave a like, share and subscribe this video and follow for more NBA content. This trade deadline, as mentioned before, the Magic were sellers. They traded away their all-star center who was having a career year in Nikola Vucevic for Wendell Carter, Otto Porter and two top of protected first-round picks from this year's draft and the 2023 draft from the Chicago Bulls. They traded away Aaron Gordon for RJ Hampton and a 2025 first-round pick which is protected from the Nuggets. They also traded away Evan Fournier for two second-round picks from the Celtics and made it completely clear they're going for a rebuild. The Magic are a very young team, younger than the teams I've talked before. Also check out those two videos if you haven't already. Back to the Magic. They're ridiculously young with a core of Markel Fultz, Jonathan Isaac who are both out for this season, Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Chuma Okiki and Mo Bamba. Markel Fultz was the first pick in the 2017 draft. He got barely any chance in his first 2 years in Philly due to Ben Simmons. He then came to Orlando and started showing more flashes of the player from college and high school. He looked like he was going to have a breakout season this year before he got injured, averaging 13 points per game and 5.5 assists in the first 8 games. Though this was a very small sample size, his previous season he averaged 12 points per game and 5 assists per game as a starting point guard on a playoff team, which is quite an accomplishment for any player. He's a crafty finisher who isn't scared of contact and drives regularly. His defender usually sags off during pick and rolls to allow him to shoot. He isn't a good three-point shooter yet, but if he has a respectable three-point shot, he'll be an amazing starting point guard for the Magic. Cole Anthony is averaging 12 points per game and 4.4 assists per game on not so great shooting splits in the 36 games he's played this season. He's been getting more minutes since Fultz's injury and has been showing up. Orlando has a pick and roll frequency of 21.3%, and the reason behind this is Cole Anthony's pick and roll and pick and pops with Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba, and Vucevic until he was with the Magic. RJ Hampton has been averaging 9.2 points per game since he was traded to Orlando. He was a highly regarded prospect coming out of high school when he went to New Zealand and has shown flashes of what he can be. He's an athletic two guard who has great body control and downhill ability. He's fast and is just below league average on shooting efficiency. The thing I'm most interested in what the Magic will do when Markel Fultz comes back is how they'll rotate around these three very talented guards and help them get all their touches and minutes for their developments. Chuma Okiki is averaging 7.5 points per game and 4.4 rebounds per game. Though it isn't amazing efficiency, he's playing his first full year in this league and has shown flashes of becoming an explosive scorer. He's a great athlete who should start getting to the free throw line more with the amount he drives. Right after the trade deadline, he had a 7 game stretch where he averaged 15 points per game on relatively good efficiency and has shown that he can be a great scorer if he gets more opportunity. Moving on to the big man, Wendell Carter Jr. Since he was acquired by the Magic from the Bulls, he's averaged 14.5 points per game and 9.4 rebounds per game on 53.5% field goal efficiency. He's been much more aggressive offensively and has been the team defender he was drafted by the Bulls to be. He's actually been taking some threes and making quite a few of them. His pick and roll with Cole Anthony has been great and should get better when he has a pick and roll with Markel Fultz. Defenders usually sag when Markel has a pick and roll, so this will give Wendell an opportunity to either pick and pop or get the switch onto a smaller guard which will allow him to play on the post. Jonathan Isaac and Mo Bamba were drafted for their defensive prowesses. Isaac has shown that he's an all-defensive player who can be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate with his length and versatility. He had to play the 3 when Aaron Gordon was with the Magic. It didn't work out well. Now that Gordon has been traded, he can play his natural position at power forward. He shot 34% from 3 last year, which is almost league average, but he took only 2 shots per game. If he has a respectable 3 ball, he can be a monster on defense and a respectable shooter on offense. Mo Bamba has just started getting minutes after the waiving of Kemperch. Steve Clifford, who is considered coach who wants to win, played Kemperch over him as he was a better player at the moment, though he should have played Mo Bamba because the Magic wanted their young players to be developed. I would like to talk about Bamba after we've seen more of him. Lastly, they have two first round picks next year. Their own, which might be very high since they're the worst team in the East, and the Bulls pick, which is looking better and better as the days pass, with the Bills not being as good of a team they were expected to be after the Vucevic trade. I'm actually really high on this team. With them having their own first round pick, which might be very high due to how bad they are this year, and the Chicago Bulls first round pick, which is looking better and better as the days go on, as the Bulls are not as great as they expected they would be after the Vucevic trade. I think they can draft a franchise caliber player in the next year's draft, as the draft is very highly regarded and as prospects such as Kate Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green, and so on. I think the pieces around them are very versatile and can fit along any player. They would be great role players on a championship quality team if they hit their ceilings. And I'd actually say they're one piece away from having a top young core in the league and a championship contender ceiling. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'd appreciate if you left a like and shared it to any of your friends who like NBA and subscribe to the channel.